Right everyone, we're off to Warrington. We're buying a sink for the bathroom. But we're going to go to Warrington Cemetery. But I've just seen this. I don't know what it is. In memory of those who tragically lost their lives as a result of the M62 coach bomb, February 4th, 74. Wow. 2 children, 5 and 2. Everyone were dead young, everyone. They weren't over 24. No, 28. Oh. Anyway, I'm getting cold. It's absolutely freezing. So we're going to get gone. And I'll see you at the cemetery. Everybody, we're here. Now, there's one grave in particular at Warrington Cemetery where we're at that I really want to show you. I think I've just seen it, actually. But, as with always, I need a pee. So, we're going to go and have a look at this beautiful old building at the front where they've got bogs. And then we'll have a look at all these other graves. And then we're going to make our way over to that section where I think the grave is that I'm looking for. Well, I'm looking for all graves, but look at that, everyone. So as we make a walk down here, I'm in Warrington because, oh, look at that, everybody. This is a story. That's him in his deathbed, look. See that, Si? Yeah. On the front of that grave there, it's the story of his deathbed, look. There's a book above it. We'll have a look. But yeah, everyone, see that chapel over there? That church has got a beautiful graveyard in it. And that one, I believe, is where Cromwell hid out during the Civil War. Isn't history fantastic? So yeah, we're going to nick into this bog and then we'll start the tour. And we'll take it from there. I've got a feeling we're going to find some fabulous histories in this graveyard. Just look at it, everyone. Look at that. Gerald Harry. That is stunning. Right, let's just gut bog. And then we'll go. Oh, look at all these war graves. Freaking trainers. You know these trainers, they trip me up. Let's go and have a look at these bogs. The first editor of the Warrington Guardian. I used to work at the Warrington Guardian, everybody. I did a short trip there, or a short time there many years ago. Oh, this don't look great, but it is what it is. Look at these old gates. Look at that, everyone. Beautiful. So there's many stories associated with Warrington. One of the most famous stories revolves around Queen Victoria. So for those of you that are familiar with English Civil War history, you'll be familiar with the name Oliver Cromwell. On the gates of the town hall are some beautiful golden gates worthy of a palace, and that's because they were supposed to be gifted to Queen Victoria. And then she actually came to Warrington to pick them up, well, to accept them, and then I imagine they'd have been sent down to London. But apparently, as she came over the bridge, she saw a statue of Oliver Cromwell. Like I say, he was in that church there riding out during the Civil War, and she was that disgusted. Cromwell, by the way, wanted the end of the royals, that she instructed them to turn round and went straight back to London, and she never received the gates, refused them. So now they're on the gates, they're on the town hall. Everybody, this is absolutely beautiful. Now you need to see this because... Can you see the star on top of a red? I wish that kid would be quiet. That is a beautiful statue. And the grave, it's got the Masonic symbol. Thomas D. Williams, 6th of October 1918. Hannah, his beloved wife, 5th of December 1916. Mary, their daughter, Jan 8th, 1934. And Herbert J. Golder, 10th of Feb 1955. T. Williamson and Sons. T. Williams and Sons sculptors. So actually that's the stonemason marker. So Thomas would have been a stonemason, and they produced this for him. And how beautiful is that? Everybody, it's cold. We've got another one here. This is John William Plinston, December 6, 1939, age 64. Also Sarah Ellen. God, these people died young, everybody. Seen anything fabulous, Simon?
That's all those military graves in there.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a military hospital here, because there's Australians, there's Canadians, there's Irish, there's Scots, there's
Really?
Northumberland. So
maybe there was barracks here or something, and
well, I'm thinking like from
like you say,
First World War, from all. So if there was, you think if they was killed over in, they'd be buried there. They wouldn't put their.
They wouldn't bury them here.
They wouldn't bury them here. If they're interred here.
We need to look into that then.
Like I said, it was a military hospital here, and then they got invalidated back from France, all the different nationalities, and then, you know, they didn't make it, they died, and they had to bury them somewhere.
Yeah, I think that's really plausible, don't you? This is actually the grave that I was interested in stopping at, everybody. I want to get a closer look at this so I can show you, because I think it's absolutely stunning. Look at that. Look at it. Look at the face on that one. God's finger touched him and he slept. In loving memory of Gerald Harry, the dearly loved and beloved husband of Alice Sydenham. So it's Gerald Sydenham, who died the 2nd of July 1909. He was only 38. 1909, age 38. That was before the First World War. Alice, she died in 1935. She was 65. What a beautiful grave, everybody. John Edmund Davies, October 31st, Halloween. 1897, age 48. Also Mary Louisa Davis, his wife. 1938. Wow. In memorial of James Birchall, he died the 19th of April, 1875, age 42. His brother died at the age of 48? Is it 40? 48? 46 in 1878. There's some beauties in here, everybody. You know what? We're going to make our way Frederick Massey, December 28th, November 1902, age 62. Elizabeth, she died in 1872, age 36. The sun's coming out now and it's very welcome, I'll tell you that now. It's bloody freezing. Some huge monuments up there, but we're going to go and look at. Simon's looking at something really interesting there. This one interests me a great deal though. Let's have a closer look, everyone, because I want you to see this beautiful sculpture. I've not seen much like this before. Can you see the wife knelt at the side of the bed? You've got the priest administering last rites, the dying in the bed, the visitors, they're all wearing robes. In affectionate remembrance of John Seddon Woods, who died August 16th, 1876, aged 76 years. Margaret, his wife, she died December 6th, 1877. Margaret's in there, the daughter. She was 37. My God. William Woods, he died 1886, aged 48. God almighty, everybody, these people died so young. Mary Ellen, the dearly beloved wife of Ralph Johnson, who fell asleep 1890, I think that's 1896, could be 1890, age 29, sacred to the memory. Look at the size of the grave he gave her, everybody. I wonder if Ralph's in here then. Chances are he's probably remarried and... Yeah, it looks like she's by herself. See, Ralph would have remarried and been buried with his new wife, maybe. Should we have a walk down and go see George's? No, Simon's itching to see George's grave. I think we should go down and then make our way back, everyone. We can have a look at these fabulous graves on the way as well. Look at that beautiful sky, everybody. I know, it's made a difference, hasn't it, Si? Yeah. So George, everybody, is just over there, and you can see, we're going to make our way across the grass to him, but you can see his face.
Yeah, because
carved and etched into the front of it.
Since we were looking at it, like yours.
The what?
Yours is ceramic. The ones we were looking at, the tops, were all acrylic.
Oh yeah, that's a ceramic sink.
So it's top notch, that, isn't it?
Oh God, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Somebody's paid a lot for that.
Everybody won't believe how cheap I got it for. 50 quid, and it's absolutely stunning. We'll have a look at these, Si, on the way back. We'll go and see George first. So I realised that not everybody watching the channel know who George Formby is. A lot of people will, but for people who don't know who he was a ukulele player around in the, God, was it the 30s and 40s, Si?
Yeah.
But he came to Oldham, and we're actually going by Oldham on the way back to look at the Grand Theatre. But once the Grand Theatre it was built as a theatre, but they turned it into a cinema years later, and George basically came with his wife and did the opening. It's a beautiful stone. Can you see the curtains in loving remembrance of George Formby, comedian?
Somebody put a ukulele on.
I know, isn't it beautiful, that? So it says, died 8th of February 1921. So actually, this grave is his father. George Formby that we're talking about is the OBE mentioned at the bottom.
That's him.
So the likeness at the top is his father. I thought he didn't look like him. After life's fitful fever, he felt he sleeps well. And then also George Formby, OBE, 6th of March 1961, aged 56, also Eliza Ann, devoted wife of George Senior. I wonder where what are you looking at, Simon? They're beautiful, aren't they?
The drama.
Sorrow
the
and...
drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. George, wow, look at her. Elizabeth Ann, she died in 1981, she was 102.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Your songs are ended, but the melodies linger on. Mother and Louis. Everyone, this start has been there for donkey's years. How nice is it? Let's have a look at the back of it. There's nothing to see on the back. I think this is the Catholic end. Yeah, it's definitely the Catholics over here. Keep it trained. So we're just going to come round the corner. I think it might still actually be up. I think I can see it still. I don't know why my voice is going up at the end like I'm in Australia or something. It does look like something's happened though. You'll see. Yeah, it's still standing.
You've taken the roof off though, haven't they?
Yeah, took the roof off. Point at its high, show everybody. I want to see behind that old clock tower there. Because that's got the original front, you know, the original frontage. Such a shame. Pulling it down, look, bit by bit.